Chosen one, this moment is no accident. Heaven has summoned you here by divine appointment and perfect timing. The hand of God has guided your steps to this exact word in this exact hour, because something supernatural is about to break open in your life. What you are hearing right now is not coincidence, it is confirmation. You are standing at the very edge of a divine wealth transfer, a supernatural release that will rewrite your story. The Lord is saying, I am shifting you from survival to overflow, from waiting to walking in promise. Chosen one. The tension you've been feeling is not pressure, it's prophecy. The shaking around you is proof that heaven is moving resources in your favor. Doors are about to open that no man can shut. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 declares, For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come. And that time is now. So take a deep breath. Open your heart. You are being positioned for divine elevation. This message has found you because heaven is funding your future. Stay until the end. Your confirmation is about to arrive. Chosen one, listen closely. This message found you because heaven is stirring something powerful in your spirit. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet unease, that sense that the air around you has changed. What once felt comfortable now feels tight, like a room you've outgrown. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. God is moving you into a season where the old atmosphere can no longer contain the new anointing resting on your life. You are not falling apart. You are falling into purpose. The same pressure that once made you question yourself is now proof that heaven is building something greater through you. I know it feels unfamiliar, the way certain people drift away, the way opportunities lose their shine, the way peace becomes your highest priority. But that's not loss, that's realignment. God is shifting your environment to match the weight of your destiny. I've been in that place myself, where I sat in silence, wondering why everything I built started to crumble, even the things that seemed good. But the Spirit whispered, "This is not punishment, it's preparation." And that word changed everything. I realized that divine relocation begins long before the moving boxes appear. It starts in your spirit, a restlessness that says, "I can't stay here anymore." When heaven begins to stir your nest, it's never to destroy you, it's to teach you how to fly higher. Chosen one. What you're feeling right now isn't confusion, it's construction. The tension in your life is holy ground. Heaven is shaping the foundation for your next assignment. Every closed door, every unanswered call, every delay is working in your favor. The silence isn't absence, it's strategy. God is preparing your next chapter behind the curtain of your current discomfort. And if you've been waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning, unable to rest, yet strangely alert, that's not insomnia, that's invitation. Those are the sacred hours when heaven downloads blueprints. Pay attention to those stirrings. Journal the ideas, the dreams, the visions. God is giving you previews of the place He's sending you next. I remember when my own transition began. I couldn't explain it. I just knew something in me had already moved before my body caught up. The music I used to enjoy suddenly felt off. The conversations that once filled my time no longer fit. My spirit was being recalibrated. And that's exactly what's happening to you. You've been faithful with little, now heaven is preparing to trust you with much. Don't mistake this pressure for punishment. When the eagle senses the storm coming, it doesn't hide, it stretches its wings to rise above it. That's what you're being trained for. God isn't breaking you down, He's breaking you out. The wind of his spirit is rising, and it's carrying you toward the very place your faith has been pointing to all along. And here's the sign: when everything around you starts feeling too small, it's because heaven is expanding your reach. Your surroundings can no longer sustain your calling. The season you're leaving behind was necessary for your growth, but now it's complete. What once served you is no longer sent for you. This next move isn't random, it's revelation. You're not being pushed away, you're being positioned. You may not see the full picture yet, but that's because revelation comes step by step. You don't need the entire map when the shepherd himself walks ahead of you. He's already arranged divine connections, hidden opportunities, and supernatural provision along your path. Chosen one, take a deep breath. You're not behind. You're right on schedule. The shaking is not the end. It's the signal that your next beginning has arrived. Your obedience will activate what's been waiting for you. You're not just moving out, you're moving up. Chosen one. What you are feeling right now, the restlessness, the unsettledness, the quiet tension deep in your chest, isn't something to fear. It's divine language. Heaven speaks through atmosphere long before it speaks through words. That inner stirring you've been sensing is a sacred signal that your spirit has outgrown its current environment. The grace that once covered this season is lifting, and God is calling you higher. I know what it feels like to wrestle with that holy discomfort. You look around and everything still looks the same, but somehow you know it isn't. The friendships feel different, the routine feels heavier, and the joy that used to come so easily now seems distant. You're not broken. Chosen one, you're being transitioned. Heaven is stretching you for the next assignment. There comes a moment in every believer's life when God begins to shake the ground beneath familiar feet. It's not because you did something wrong, it's because you've learned everything that season was meant to teach you. The test is over, the waiting room is closing, and now your spirit is sensing what your eyes haven't yet seen: movement. I remember standing in a small apartment years ago, staring at half-packed boxes, wondering how I would make the next move. My bank account didn't agree with my faith, and my logic screamed, "Stay put." But the Spirit of God whispered, "Move now." I had no map, no assurance beyond that whisper, but obedience became my anchor. And when I took that first trembling step, everything started aligning: the call, the provision, the peace. That's when I learned faith doesn't need evidence, it needs agreement. Chosen one, your life is about to prove that truth again. The divine unease you feel is not instability, it's the stirring of destiny. The doors that no longer open easily aren't rejection, they're redirection. Heaven is rerouting you. God is saying, "I'm not punishing you, I'm promoting you." Every time you feel something slipping out of your hands, remember, it's because God is placing something better in your reach. Don't be surprised if the familiar starts losing its flavor. The job, the neighborhood, even the people who once energized you may start to feel foreign. That's because your spirit has already moved to the next level before your body arrives there. You're walking through a prophetic echo, your future calling your present to catch up. Chosen one, do not confuse divine discontent with despair. This isn't depression, it's direction. The same God who called Abraham to leave everything comfortable is calling you into a land of promise. When Abraham said yes, he didn't see the inheritance, he simply trusted the voice. That same voice is calling your name right now. The command hasn't changed, it's still go. You've stayed long enough in the old pattern. You've circled that same mountain of fear, delay, and doubt. But God is declaring it's time to move. The shift is not punishment, it's preparation. Heaven is setting you up for divine expansion. The doors you thought were closing are actually hinges for your elevation, so don't resist the restlessness. Let it move you. Lean into it. Pray through it. That's how the butterfly feels before it breaks the cocoon, tight pressed ready. And just like that butterfly, your wings are forming in silence. The pressure you feel is proof that you are being transformed. Chosen one. The season of comfort is over. The season of calling has begun. You're not being displaced, you're being deployed. And when you take that first obedient step, you'll realize the path has already been prepared. Chosen one. This is where the real test begins, not when you can see the door open, but when you can't see anything at all. It's in the in-between, when you've already said yes to God, but the road ahead is still hidden. That's where faith is born. Faith doesn't bloom in clarity, it grows in mystery. And right now, heaven is inviting you into that sacred tension, the place where trust becomes your oxygen. You've been praying for confirmation, for a sign that says, now. But what if the sign isn't something external at all? What if it's that quiet confidence rising inside you, that sudden peace that doesn't make sense? That's God's whisper saying, step out. He isn't asking for perfection. Chosen one, he's asking for permission. Permission to lead you beyond your logic. Permission to show you what happens when obedience meets timing. I remember standing in front of a crossroads just like you. Two paths stretched out before me, one safe, one uncertain. The safe road was familiar, predictable, comfortable. The other demanded trust I didn't think I had. But deep in my spirit, a still voice said, the promise isn't on the map, it's on the move. I took the leap, trembling yet trusting, and that's when the miracles began. The provision, the favor, the unexpected opportunities, they didn't appear until I moved. Faith always unlocks what fear hides. Chosen one. Some of you have been delaying your breakthrough because you're waiting for conditions to make sense. But heaven's math has never matched the world's equations. You don't need the full budget when the blessing is supernatural. God's economy runs on obedience, not numbers. The same hand that provided manna in the wilderness will provide for you in this transition. You just need to lift the knife like Abraham did and trust that the ram will appear. It's easy to doubt when logic doesn't line up, but remember, faith doesn't ask, how will this work? It declares, it already is. That's how divine manifestation begins. You must speak life into what doesn't yet exist. Begin to bless your next chapter before you even step into it. Start packing not just your things, but your expectations. Praise before you possess. Worship before you witness. When heaven hears faith in motion, it responds with acceleration. Chosen one. The shaking around you isn't a warning, it's a countdown. The ground beneath you is making room for increase. The job loss, the friend who left, the delay, they're not random disruptions. They're the sound of God rearranging your landscape. He's removing what can't go with you so the new can arrive without interference. And when the voice of fear tells you you're not ready, remind yourself, readiness in the kingdom isn't about stability, it's about surrender. The moment you release control, divine orchestration begins. The invisible starts to move for your visible. So if you feel uncertain, today, breathe. You are not lost. You are being led. The same God who guided Moses through wilderness and Joseph through prison is guiding you through this moment. You don't need to know every step, just trust the one who ordered them. Step forward, chosen one. The wind of heaven is already at your back. Chosen one. Every shaking you've been feeling lately isn't random, it's prophetic. Heaven shakes what's unstable so that what's eternal can stand. You've been asking, Lord, why does it feel like everything familiar is slipping away? But listen closely. What feels like loss is simply God loosening your roots from old soil. You've outgrown where you were planted, and the gardener of heaven is preparing to replant you in richer ground. You see, there's always a shaking before the showing. Before the promise comes into view, the structure of the old must collapse. Think about it. The walls of Jericho didn't fall because the people fought. They fell because the people obeyed. They walked, they worshipped, and the sound of their faith tore down what their hands never could. The same pattern is happening in your life right now. The walls that confined you are trembling, not because you failed, but because your praise has matured. You've learned to trust, without understanding, to stand even when the ground feels unstable, and that's what qualifies you for the next dimension. I remember when God began to shake my world. Everything that once seemed secure started shifting. Friends left, without warning. Doors closed that I thought were mine, and the quiet was almost unbearable. I cried out, "God, are you punishing me?" But his response was gentle and firm. "No, child, I'm positioning you." It was in that silence that I discovered something sacred. The absence of noise is often the presence of instruction. The shaking wasn't judgment, it was preparation. Chosen one, don't fear the crumble, fear standing still. The shaking means the structure is ready to change. Every ending is just an announcement of the beginning. What you perceive as falling apart is actually falling into order, divine order. God is rearranging your environment to match the maturity of your spirit. The things that once thrilled you now feel empty because you've outgrown them. The people who once walked beside you can no longer carry the weight of what you carry, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk into your next season. Some were divine assignments for a chapter. Others were divine mirrors to teach you who you are. Let them go in peace. Right now, heaven is rewiring your connections. New alliances are forming, people who will see you clearly, speak life into your vision, and protect what you're birthing. God is replacing convenience with covenant. The room may be smaller, but the oil will be thicker. You're being surrounded not by popularity, but by purpose. Chosen one. Understand this, every divine promotion comes wrapped in separation. It's never meant to isolate you, it's meant to concentrate you. When God prunes, he's not punishing the branch, he's preparing it for greater fruit. The cutting hurts, but the fruit it produces will feed nations. So don't resist the shaking, let it purify your priorities. Let it clarify what matters. The same spirit that stirred the waters in Genesis is stirring your atmosphere now. It's unsettling because creation always begins in chaos. But soon, what's been shaking will start to settle. And you'll see what he's been building all along. Chosen one, you are not collapsing, you are being carved. Every tremor in your life is shaping you into the vessel that can hold greater glory. Heaven is clearing the old foundation to make room for the new temple, your purpose, your assignment, your abundance. The shaking is not your ending. It's heaven announcing that your showing is near. Chosen one. One of the greatest fears before a divine move is this: will I have enough? Will the resources appear? Will the doors open in time? Those questions have kept many from stepping into what God already prepared. But here, this obedience is never bankrupt. Every time God gives an instruction, he attaches provision to it. You won't see it until you move, because faith activates what fear delays. I've lived this truth. I remember standing in a moment where obedience didn't make financial sense. I had no cushion, no clear guarantee, just a whisper that said, go. And when I finally stepped forward, trembling, uncertain but willing, the supply met me at the point of surrender. Opportunities I never pursued began to chase me. Doors I didn't knock on began to open. That's the mystery of obedience. It unlocks what logic can't. Chosen one. Your miracle is not waiting for money, it's waiting for movement. When Abraham lifted the knife, the ram was already in the thicket. When Elijah's brook dried up, God had already prepared a widow to sustain him. Provision doesn't appear before faith, it follows it. What you're walking into has already been funded by heaven. The problem is not supply, it's timing. And the moment you say yes, heaven releases what's been held back for your obedience. You've been praying, God, give me resources so I can obey. But heaven has been whispering, obey, and I'll give you the resources. The kingdom works in reverse. That's why the first step always feels impossible. It's supposed to stretch your dependence beyond what you can see. The math of God never adds up to human reason. It multiplies according to divine trust. Chosen one, you are not stepping into scarcity, you are stepping into strategy. What looks like lack is often hidden preparation. God hides provision to train perception. He wants you to learn to recognize his voice above your own logic. Because once you do, you'll realize that divine supply doesn't follow the world's rules, it follows heaven's rhythm. If you're in a season where everything seems to be drying up, don't panic. The drying brook is a message, not a punishment. It means new provision is being arranged. What once served you has completed its assignment. God doesn't let things end without already writing the next beginning. You are not losing, you're being led. So start acting as if it's already done. Clean your space, organize your plans, and prepare like someone who expects heaven to deliver. Because expectation is the breeding ground of manifestation. When faith starts moving, miracles start multiplying. And hear me clearly, chosen one. The supply is not just financial, it's emotional peace, divine connections, supernatural favor. Heaven is sending people who carry answers to prayers you haven't even prayed yet. The resources are not coming to you, they're coming through you because you've proven trustworthy. When the Lord says move, it's never about relocation alone, it's about revelation. He's revealing that you are the carrier of provision, not just the receiver. You're stepping into a flow where lack cannot follow. The river is already running, step into it. Chosen one, have you noticed lately that everything around you seems to be speeding up? Conversations, shifting old patterns, breaking opportunities surfacing and disappearing in the same week. You're not imagining it. That's divine acceleration. Heaven is compressing time on your behalf because delay has served its purpose. Every prayer, every tear, every moment of endurance has filled a divine cup that is now tipping in your favor. Acceleration never feels calm at first. It feels like chaos, but what looks like confusion is actually the rearranging of divine order. The Spirit of God is moving pieces you can't yet see. People are being shifted, resources are being aligned, and even obstacles are being transformed into open doors. What once took years will now take months. What once required your striving will now respond to your surrender. I've walked through this myself. There was a time I begged God to make things happen faster, thinking acceleration meant more effort. But I learned that divine speed doesn't come from pressure, it comes from positioning. When you align with heaven's flow, what was once delayed suddenly moves without resistance. You don't chase anymore, you're carried. God begins to make up for lost time because your obedience has synchronized with His timing. Chosen one, this is what's happening for you right now. You've passed tests that others couldn't see. You've sown seeds in seasons that felt barren. Heaven is now rewarding the invisible labor. What once resisted you is about to recognize you. Doors that ignored you will now open automatically because your spiritual signature has changed. The authority you carry now demands a different environment. That's why things that used to work are suddenly closing down. That's why people who once supported you seem silent. Heaven is clearing the noise so acceleration can find you. This isn't rejection, it's realignment. You've shifted from waiting for blessings to becoming the blessing itself. The oil on your life has matured, and now it's time for God to showcase what He developed in private. When divine acceleration begins, you'll notice 3 signs. First, you'll feel a deep inner urgency, but without panic. It's like your spirit knows there's no more time to waste. Second, you'll begin to attract what once seemed out of reach: divine connections, inspired ideas, unexpected favor. Third, you'll sense grace in what used to be hard. The doors that once demanded effort will now open with ease. Don't confuse this momentum with mania. Heaven's acceleration is never frantic. It's fluent. It moves in peace, not panic. The moment you start striving again, pause. You don't have to force what God has already formed. Just stay available. Stay tuned in. Listen for His cues, and the wind of the Spirit will carry you to the exact coordinates of your breakthrough. Chosen one acceleration means fulfillment. What you thought was delayed is actually being delivered on schedule, God's schedule. When the time is right, nothing can hold it back. You're not late and you're not lost. You're arriving in divine timing. So lift your head. Take a deep breath. The waiting wasn't wasted. It was gathering momentum. The wind you feel right now isn't random. It's heaven rushing to deliver what belongs to you. Move with it. The pace has changed because your purpose has matured. Chosen one, before every unveiling comes refining. Before every elevation there is exposure, not to shame you, but to shape you. You've been walking through a season where the heat has been intense. The pressure, the misunderstandings, the delays, they've all been part of God's refining fire. It's the kind of fire that doesn't destroy gold. It reveals its purity. You are that gold. Heaven is refining you so that when you step into this next level, nothing false or fragile will come with you. I know it's been uncomfortable. You've probably said, "Lord, I thought I was ready." And yet He turned up the heat instead. But understand this: the closer you are to manifestation, the deeper the purification. The anointing you carry requires resilience, not rush. God is not trying to delay you. He's making sure your foundation can hold the weight of what's coming. I've lived this. I once walked through a season where everything I depended on was stripped away. The plans I built with confidence fell apart, and the silence that followed was almost unbearable. But in that quiet furnace, I met God in a way I never had before. I learned that the fire doesn't just test faith, it transforms it. It turns borrowed belief into living conviction. When I finally stepped out of that season, I wasn't the same person. I didn't need validation anymore. I didn't chase approval. I walked with quiet authority because I had survived holy fire. Chosen one, that's what's happening to you now. The loneliness you felt isn't abandonment, it's refinement. The people who misunderstood you were never meant to comprehend your calling. The warfare that surrounded you is confirmation that heaven's mantle is already resting on your shoulders. Hell only fights what heaven has already crowned. The more intense the attack, the closer the announcement. This is your proving ground. The fire that's been burning around you isn't random, it's prophetic. It's burning away impatience, insecurity, and fear. You've been trained in secret for public purpose. Every quiet yes, every silent tear, every time you chose faith over frustration, it all became the fragrance of your sacrifice. And now, heaven is ready to make that aroma known. Chosen. 1. The refining fire also sharpens discernment. You've noticed it. You can sense dishonor from a distance, see deception without evidence, and feel peace as confirmation. That's because the Spirit of Truth has been fine-tuning your frequency. Not everyone can walk with you now, and that's protection, not punishment. The circle gets smaller, so the oil can flow deeper. What God is doing through you next can't be built on borrowed conviction. It requires pure obedience, no motives, no manipulation, just surrender. When you step out of this fire, you won't just look refined, you'll carry authority that can't be faked. People will sense the shift in your presence because you've walked through what most people run from. So take heart, anointed one. The refining is almost complete. The glow you'll carry next isn't from striving, it's from surviving. You've been in the fire, but you were never alone. The same fourth man who stood with the 3 Hebrew boys stands with you now. And when you emerge, there will be no smell of smoke, only the fragrance of glory. Chosen one. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Everything that has shaken, burned, or fallen away has led to this, your release. You've walked through pruning pressure and prophetic isolation, and now the air around you feels different because the atmosphere of your life has shifted. The old weight has lifted. The waiting season is over. You are standing at the threshold of divine elevation. This isn't just about moving houses, jobs, or cities. This is about heaven repositioning you into your ordained environment, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Where you're going, the air will feel lighter because obedience carries oxygen. You're not relocating for comfort. You're being sent for purpose. Every step you take from here is going to ripple beyond you. The blessing that's coming isn't temporary, it's generational. I remember the day it happened to me. I wasn't even looking for change. I had learned to live in gratitude for the wilderness, and that's when the door opened. That's how God works. The moment you stop striving to make something happen, heaven releases what was already prepared. I didn't chase it. It found me. And when I walked through that new door, everything suddenly made sense. The delays, the denials, the detours, they were all directions in disguise. The waiting didn't waste time. It built timing. Chosen one. That's what God has been doing with you. He's been maturing your perspective so you can handle the magnitude of what's next. You see, miracles are not maintained by excitement. They're sustained by maturity. And you've been growing roots in the dark so that when light hits your life, you'll stand firm. The deeper the root, the higher the rise. Right now, angels are moving on your behalf. They're positioning the right people, preparing divine appointments, opening doors in boardrooms, and whispering your name into rooms you haven't even entered yet. You won't have to compete for what's already been assigned. Heaven has already written your access into the script. Your job is simple. Stay in alignment. Don't rush. Don't panic. Move when peace says move. Chosen one. As this shift unfolds, remember not everyone can go with you. Some will misunderstand your sudden acceleration. Others will try to hold you to an old version of yourself. Bless them and keep walking. You've been called to new elevation, not old explanation. You no longer owe anyone proof of your growth. Your fruit will speak for you. This is your Jordan moment. The waters are parting. The land ahead has been promised. You've cried long enough over what was. Now rejoice over what is. The transition that once terrified you will soon testify for you. You'll look back and say, it all makes sense now. Chosen one, take one last look at where you came from, not with regret, but with reverence. Because the wilderness that once held you is now the witness of your becoming. Step forward boldly. Heaven is saying, the set time has come. This is not relocation, it's revelation. You're not leaving something behind, you're stepping into everything promised. Walk with authority, speak with gratitude, and move with peace. The shepherd has gone before you, the angels are beside you, and glory follows behind you. You're not moving by chance, you're being moved by purpose. The new chapter has begun. Chosen one. As we come to the close of this message, take a deep breath and feel the atmosphere around you shift. What you are sensing right now is not imagination, it is divine confirmation. Heaven has already signed the release for your next chapter. The doors that once resisted you are now unlocking, and the path that once seemed hidden is being illuminated. You are not standing in uncertainty, you are standing in divine alignment. This is your Kairos moment, the appointed time when preparation meets manifestation. Anointed one, the Lord is saying, the waiting is over. What you once called delay was actually divine design. Every tear, every prayer, every quiet act of faith has been gathered in heaven's storehouse. And now the release has begun. You are stepping into a supernatural transfer where spiritual authority, financial provision, and divine opportunity begin to flow toward you with ease. The same power that lifted Joseph from the prison to the palace is at work in your life right now. Chosen one, do not fear what's shifting. You're not being displaced, you're being deployed. The shaking you felt was heaven's way of breaking old foundations to build something stronger. What you lost was only clearing space for what's greater. You are walking into a season where peace will replace panic, purpose will replace confusion, and glory will replace grief. If this word resonated in your spirit, seal it in faith. Type, "I receive it, Lord," in the comments as your declaration of agreement. Stay prayerful, stay prepared, and stay in alignment. The move is already in motion. The promise is already alive. You are chosen, covered, and commissioned for such a time as this.